How do our virtual assistants here at Titanium Investments cold call motivated sellers? You guys asked for this, so we're delivering it. I got a post inside of the Vault, our free Facebook group this past weekend. Shout out for the post. It was awesome. It was like, man, there's one video missing from the archives on RJ's YouTube channel, and it's just we've never actually seen how do RJ's virtual assistants cold call sellers. And in typical RJ fashion, I could come on here and just say, hey, this is how we do it. But I think you guys would actually prefer to just listen to the cold caller talk to sellers, because that's what we do around here, right? We complete transparency. We just show you guys what's actually happening. So I've got 2 cold calls on the same day. These came from September 4th, so 2 days ago. May. First of all, shout out to all of my virtual assistants. Okay, they're like family to us. They've been with us for years. We've got May, we've got Anna, we've got Mar, and we've got Jean. So we're running with a team of 4 virtual assistants right now. They've been with us for a while. We love them. So shout out to you guys. This video is for you. We appreciate everything that you do for us here at Titanium. We're actually going to be listening to 2 different calls from May. And the reason why I want to show you 2 is so you can see the similarities and the consistency within the calls. Okay. Now, before we get into the calls, I want to outline a couple of things. I have given them complete permission to be themselves. I firmly believe that that is vitally important when you are talking to a seller, even as a virtual assistant, probably more so for a virtual assistant cold calling, where it's not just coming off super scripted and just icky feeling and almost like, hey, I'm here to get this information. Now, we still want them to gather information, but they have the freedom to kind of navigate the conversation that they best see fit, as long as they are getting us 4 different things. Does the seller want to sell? How much does the seller want? Tell us a little bit about the condition. And honestly, motivation would be in there sometimes if the conversation goes quick, but also just timeline. Okay. And so what I mean by if the conversations go quick, you're going to see one of these calls is only 3 minutes. All right. If you have a super direct seller that's just kind of like bullet point giving you answers. Yeah, I want to sell $100,000. It's a distressed property, needs a full rehab. I mean, right there, that conversation can be 1 minute. We don't want to feel like the seller to feel like the conversation is not important. So anytime it goes super quick, that's where the cold caller can ask, like, hey, why are you looking to sell the property? Quite frankly, that's not vitally important. We just need to know that they want to sell, how much it is, what's the condition, and what's the timeline. The other thing is that they have the freedom to interject any humor, any of their own personality. Just got to treat it like we do inside the closer's formula. So that's been one of the top questions is like, how do you use the closer's formula when you're cold calling? Well, it's always going to be a little bit different when you're not the closer using the closer formula, but we want our virtual assistants and our cold callers sticking to the closer's formula as much as possible. So without further ado, let's bring May up. And listen, this is just a downloaded recording from our batch dialer, so we don't have any video or anything like that. We're just going to have to listen to it. But I'm going to hit play here. This is the initial call. This is the longer one. It's like a 7-minute call. May talks to a motivated seller.
Hi, I'm looking for Dwayne.
This is Dwayne.
Oh, that's great. Well, my name is May, and I'm calling about the property at Fremont Street. I was just wondering if you're considering selling the property.
I did not get out of what I got into it.
I understand. Well, do you have any other properties you might want to sell? We can.
Okay, so you might be wondering, why did she just immediately move on from that? Well, just like we do in the closer's formula, I have instructed our virtual assistants, hey, embrace no. If they say something like, oh, you would never pay me what I want for it, or I'll never get out of it what I have in it, okay, we're going to trust you on that. Do you have anything else that you want to sell? Because if the answer is yes, which this one is, then it's probably a pretty decent deal. So we give them that freedom. I'm very big on freedom inside when you're talking to a seller. I want you to have the ability to make like decisions and kind of discern between like, hey, this is a lead and this is not, because we don't want a bunch of, full retail leads pumping into our closers. I prefer the VAs make that decision and only be sending us truly discounted leads.
I've got a house in Bellevue that I'm selling.
In Bellevue. Oh, can I have the exact address?
All right, so we're going to fast forward a little bit because they give the address there.
Also have the zip code, please.
I'm not sure of the zip code.
That's all right. Well, did you have any updates made in the property?
Any what?
Did you have any renovations or changes made in the property?
No, I just I sold my land contract, and the people that lived there just lived there and let the house fall down around them. So I finally got it back. They've been there like 8 years and only paid 13 payments in 8 years.
Wow.
So I finally got them out, and I got the house back. It needs work, but I'm selling it like it is for $85,000. I mean, I got one person wanting to buy it on land contract, and I'm not really wanting to do land contract again.
Oh.
Because I lost a bunch of myself with land contract, but if they probably do, it'll be $15,000 down, $800 a month is a 5-year balloon. If they can handle that, then I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, that's the only one I've got.
I see. You've mentioned a price earlier. How much are you going to be selling this property again?
85. That's so much Remax. Remax offered 85 for last year with people still living in it.
So this is a lot of great information. We're learning the price. We're learning the motivation behind it, right? He sold it on a land contract. Only receiving 13 payments in 8 years is just insane. I can't believe he let it go on for that long. So we now understand when this gets passed off from the cold caller to our closing team, there's quite a bit of motivation here. And we understand that the property is physically distressed. It needs a lot of rehab. We understand a price point. So what we're going to do now is we are going to underwrite and analyze this deal prior to calling the seller. Now, you guys say, well, RJ, you always say don't pre-comp. What I mean by don't pre-comp is when you don't have this information, okay? We want to be as efficient as possible when we call sellers, especially in this situation. The reason why we're gathering all this information is so we could go into that closing conversation with the intention of closing the deal. So May's doing a great job right here of, with asking some questions. You see a motivation coming out. This is what we mean by a motivated seller. This right here is a motivated seller when they're divulging this type of information to you.
And I've got to get a hold of them. I just got them out last week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a couple weeks ago now.
Oh.
I just got them out. So now I'm trying to get a hold of people at Remax because they buy it. He's got cash buyers that buy his houses that they rehab. Because the house is, around about 150 to 160,000 once it's, fixed up.
Okay. So what did the seller just tell us? One, there's a flipper in the area that works with the Remax agent that offered him $85,000. He wants to buy the property. So now, not only do we know that this is a motivated seller, but we also know that his asking price is wherein buyers buy. This is vitally important information for our closers going into it. And he also gave us a pretty good idea of where he believes the after repair value is. He's saying 155 to 160,000. So now we can go in and we can educate ourselves on what do we actually think the after repair value is. We're going to need to understand a little bit more about the condition of the property. So then we can kind of educate him on where we need to be. But this is a great setup for our closers here based off the information that May has been able to get out of this seller.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
And I'm only selling for 85, so they put less than 20 into it to be making a pretty healthy profit.
That's right.
Less than 20.
When you say that the property needs work, does that include like the kitchen? You've mentioned that it's quite torn down, or
No. The back porch, the back porch, it's got a small back porch, but they let it leak and we stand on the porch and look right up at the sky in one spot of it. So it needs to be, the back porch needs to be redone. The front porch should be redone. But they're both small porches. It ain't a lot of work. It's just the idea. I'm afraid that people are going to just tear it off, and I don't want it ripped off. It's a small porch, but it is a porch.
Exactly. How about for like the kitchen, the bathroom,
The kitchen floor needs to be redone because it had a washer and dryer in it. I've redone the floor twice already. But people keep on getting them wash machines in there and they keep leaking and they don't do nothing but let it leak and then it ruins the floor because I had them floating floors in there.
So the reason why May specifically asked about the kitchen and bathroom there is because, again, this is me saying, hey, when you have a seller that's willing to like connect with you, which he has with May, and they're divulging that information, dig a little bit deeper. The more that you can give the closer in this scenario, the better it's going to be, because right now he's willing to give it to us. So if a seller is willing to open up and give us all this information, we want to gather that, because this helps with our underwriting process for the closer going in with the intention of closing the deal. So that I love the fact that she asked that question. But again, she's not going to do that on every deal. She's not going to do that on every dial. This is where we're allowing them to have that freedom. This is how, listen, May's been working with us for years. So we've had meetings and we've talked about this where it's like, hey, sometimes you don't do this, sometimes you do. And I'm okay taking the losses with the wins. Sometimes it's not, she's not always going to make the right decision. I'm okay with that. It's just about now with her having as many reps as she has, because she does this all day, every day for us. It's a pretty seamless process. So this is me trusting May because I know the results that she can get for us.
Oh.
And it ruined the service. Got to be peeled up and redone again.
Okay.
But I'm being a pro with that.
Okay. Well, how about for the roof? Do you happen to know how old the roof is?
The roof was new when I bought the house. That was about 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the people I sold it to a land contract years ago, when I evicted them out, they went up in the attic and drove all the roofing nails back up. There's got a walk-in attic off the bedroom over the kitchen and dining room. They drove all the roofing nails up, and I went there and it looked like a porcupine.
Oh.
So I drove them all back down and put a road shingle over it, and the kids got in the attic playing, and they poked, you got the little gaps between the boards. They poked something through the boards there and put a hole in the shingle, so it's got a leak down the bottom of the corner. She said they fixed it, but when I went in the house last weekend, they got buckets underneath where it leaks at, so all they done put a bucket down there instead of putting them. Oh, they used like a little dab of tar over that hole where the kids poked the hole through it. It could be re-roofed, but it doesn't need to be done, but I would take it off. Well, my thought was ripping that roof right off and taking it up another few feet, making it into part of like a bedroom.
First of all, this seller is just awesome. I love him. This is the perfect avatar type of seller that we want to be talking to, right? He's a tired landlord. He wants to be done with this. In this case, yeah, he sold it on a land contract, but you can tell. I mean, he's just coming with story after story and frustration after frustration with his property. He wants to be done. This is the type of information that we want to know going into that closing conversation. This is, in my opinion, from what I want from our virtual assistants, this is a picture-perfect cold call.
But that's up to whoever gets it. That's what I thought about doing when I lived there. I lived there about, I forget what year I bought it, but when I first bought it, we lived there for a couple of years, and that's what I was going to do is lift it up and go over the bathroom and put a bathroom in the bedroom upstairs. Because I've got 2 bedrooms upstairs, so now I make an attic into a bedroom. The kids use it for a playroom and stuff. I mean, it's big enough for a bedroom, but you got to go into the bedroom to get to the attic. But anyway, this is just a 3-bedroom.
Yeah. Yes, go ahead. 3 bedrooms and how
And 1 bath. One.
Okay. All right. Well, if for example we have this 85,000, are you going to be selling it as soon as possible?
As soon as someone comes up to the 85,000, because like I said, Remax, that's what they offered before last year when people were still in it. But I had a problem getting a hold of them. I went down there last weekend and they're not open on Saturday. So I have, because this guy's got a cash buyer that he deals with that buys houses for rehab. And that's what they offered last year when I get them out.
So beautiful news here is we know where the $85,000 number came from. It comes from an end buyer, right? But he can't get a hold of them again. Why? Because he's dealing with a real estate agent. This is real estate agents are notorious for not answering their phone. So he even took the time and effort to go down to their office, and they weren't open on Saturday. So we're on somewhat of a short time frame here to make sure that we can come in and get the deal before this end buyer. But we also know even more motivation going into the closing call.
So it's whoever comes up with the money first is getting it.
Okay, I understand. All right. Well, I will be just sending this over. I mean, all the information that you gave me, I'll just send this over to my partner, and he's going to be calling you back. This is the best number to call you. Is that right?
Yes, I don't answer my phone a lot because I work third shift. So my partner texts me.
Perhaps.
Text me. There ain't no good time. I go to work at 10 o'clock in the evening and I get out at 6:30 in the morning. I can't get calls at work and I try to get sleep sometimes in between there.
Oh, I see.
So I never know when I get to go to bed. So there is no good time. That's what my family complains about. We can never get hold of you. Sorry. Text me. I'll try to get hold of you. Yeah, well, I used to live in Battle Creek and now I moved to Muskegon, which is like 150 miles from there.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right. So I hope that you do have maybe a lot of time with your family soon. But yeah, I'll take note of here. I'll take note. They're just gonna be texting you, and maybe we could set an appointment on when to call you, perhaps. So yeah, I guess these are the things that I'll be needing. Dwayne, thank you so much for your time, and I hope that we can have a great deal with you soon. Okay? You take care.
All right. Bye.
So that's call number one. Great job, May. Just first of all, she's absolutely adorable. Sorry about that. I accidentally clicked on the second dial. Great job right there, gathering all the information. So now that lead gets entered into our CRM. Our closers will underwrite that deal, understand what is his motivation, what is his price, where do we need to be, and then go in with the intentions of getting a signed contract. We have all the information that we need, so we know that they have a property that we want to sell. We know what the asking price is. We have an understanding of the condition. We understand their timeline, and even in this scenario, we understand their motivation, and we know that we have competition and what our competition is doing. We know that there was an offer made, but he can't get a hold of them. So we even know where our competition stands in this. That's a beautiful cold call. Here's the next one by May. She's doing a Detroit, Michigan campaign. So this one is also going to be in Michigan. And I want you to see the similarities, even though there's going to be a time difference between the first call and this second call.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if they're considering selling the property.
Oh, no.
Oh, do you have any other properties you might consider selling?
In west of Chicago, Illinois. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can I have the address?
48.
Whoop. Yeah, fast forward.
Mm-hmm.
They're in
Chicago.
Illinois. Can I have also the zip code?
Shoot. I don't even know that zip code.
So it almost identical, right? On both of these, we cold called about one address, asked if they want to sell. Both of them said, no, not that one. She follows up and says, do you have any other properties? They both said yes. She asked for the address. They give the address. All they say is numbers, street, no city. She asked for the city, gets the city, then asks for the zip code. Neither one of them know the zip code. You see the similarities here? Like, I'm actually going to, this is good because I'm going to go back to May and be like, hey, in the future, just stop asking about the zip code because clearly people don't understand. They don't remember what their zip codes are. But just right off the bat, I mean, both of these calls almost identical.
Well, if you, I mean, you mentioned that this is a vacant land.
Yeah.
Does it have any access to capital line or sewer?
No. Not that I know.
Oh, okay. And is it like a residential
Yeah.
flood zone? Okay. And is it in a flood zone?
No.
No.
Okay, so the flood zone question, that's not something I've ever asked May. I've never even asked her to ask about the utilities. Okay, this is May free-flowing right here. This is May over the course of time developing a skill set and getting better. I mean, the seller is not forthcoming with information. I mean, this is just a vacant lot. And so, again, what I've told May is we don't want to be super fast on these conversations. We want to at least try to open up the seller a little bit. So right now, why is May asking those questions? To just try to get the seller to talk about something. And again, this is important information when you go to comp and underwrite. I don't necessarily think that this seller knows what they're talking about. I bet you because it's zone residential and it's in Chicago, I bet you it does have access to the utilities. But she says no. Okay. But again, it's not about that. It's about trying to get the seller to speak to us, open up, tell us what's going on.
Are there any trees that need to be cleared?
Not that I know of. No.
Just like, okay. All right, and yeah, I guess these are the only things that I'll be needing. But do you have any price on your land? How much you're going to be selling
Not a whole lot. Good option.
it? Okay, well, you don't really have like an estimate price. Want to know what a good price is for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay. And if, for example, we have a good price for you, how soon are you going to be selling the property? Okay, 30 days?
Yeah, that's fine.
Any perhaps reason why you're considering selling?
It's a part of an estate.
Oh, okay. All right.
We need to get rid of it.
Okay, okay. This is the
Motivation.
call you, is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what do you have right here under Detroit?
All right. She's got to go through some contact information there. So don't want to share that. The call wraps up in about 25 seconds. Again, that is how our virtual assistants cold call motivated sellers. And as you see, that was on the exact same day. That was 2 days ago, September 4th. Great job, May. Give May a shout out in the comments. May is awesome. Love having her as a part of our team. But listen, there's nothing overly complicated about this. I mean, I think people get so wrapped up when we're talking about cold outreach, or they think that we need to have some revolutionary script. At the end of the day, we ask them, do you want to sell? How much do you want for it? Tell me what's going on with the property, the condition, and when do you want to do this? Right? From there, we have all the information that we need. We underwrite the deal, we make the offer, and we move on. That is how we navigate our cold call leads. And we've been doing it this way for about 4+ years, probably a little bit longer, but I'll say strictly the way that you heard this on these recordings, 4 years. Okay. And we've closed hundreds of deals from this. And we've also, we don't have a huge turnover with our virtual assistants. They love the fact that we give them the freedom to be themselves. I think that is one of the most important things that you can empower your virtual assistants with is the freedom to be themselves. And I think that is why the turnover has been what it has been for us. It's been very minimal, and we've been able to keep people on our team for years and years because they like the fact that we're not forcing a script upon them. We're not forcing them to sound like someone else. Hey, just be you. Enjoy what you're doing. Kind of free flow through the conversation as long as you're getting this information. This is the information that we need to be able to close the deal. So hopefully this is what you guys wanted. I love the fact that this video was requested by you guys. So if you have any other videos that you want us to make, drop it in the comments. Make sure you give us a like, and shout out to my virtual assistants, May, Mar, Anna, Jean. We love you guys. This was for you. Appreciate it.